Oh, where is Tony? Oh, okay, we have Tony. All right. What next we need? By the way, today is special episode. It is our 25th episode. What do we call? Silver Jubilee, right? Yes! Alright guys, Arun this side, and I am so excited. Actually, Tony wants to thank all of you for being part of this amazing journey. We have completed 25 daily DBA episodes, and not really, this is the 25th episode and this is the Silver Jubilee episode. I would like to answer one of the biggest problems for all the DBAs out there, and I'm going to announce the topic in a minute. Of course, you might have guessed it by now by looking at the video title. As always, my personal request to all of you is that, continue to spread the word. We have to build the biggest DBA community out there. I am so excited for this show because I'm going to answer one of the biggest problems for all the DBAs out there. What is cloud? Why cloud? And by the way, 1 minute. Okay. So I have so many questions that I am going to answer in this show right now, and thank you so much for all the people who filled up the survey on our website. And I have got, I think, 10 to 12 questions from all the DBAs across the globe, and these are the important ones which I believe I should answer on this show, and I'm going to answer all these questions. But before that, I want to actually talk about what is cloud. So let's jump onto the board and let me explain all of you. Hold on, where is Tony? So let us explain you what exactly is cloud and where are the markers. Okay. By the way, I need duster also. Okay, thanks. I love this. Guys, I should tell you this. I love my team and I love all the team members because they are so supportive. And by the way, one insight I want to give you about DBA Genesis environment. Like, this is something I have built. And I personally don't like the corporate culture. So one of the biggest rules that we have in our DBA Genesis is we don't have a login and logout time. Can you believe? Like, all the employees are allowed to come at any time. All the employees are allowed to go at any time, and we don't have any leave policy. Whenever you want leave, just send a message and take the leave. All right. For all of you who wants to be part of the DBA Genesis team, hold on. We still have time. We are trying to get more projects so that we can hire more DBAs. And meanwhile, let me not go on to the other topic. Let's jump on to the main topic of the day. That is, what is cloud? Alright guys, so I'm back, and can you see my writing? It's amazing. Okay, that being said guys, so what exactly is cloud? I guess most of you already know about what is cloud. It simply means someone else's computer, right? But the question is, whom or who's that computer, or who's that someone else's computer, or who's that someone else's server that you would believe to keep your data? That's important, right? For all the DBAs. See guys, I can speak in a generic terms, but I would want to make this show inclined towards DBAs because all the generic videos are already available on the internet, but there is no specific video related to cloud which is inclined towards all the DBAs, right? That being said, so in your case or in our DBA world, what exactly is cloud? See, currently we all, including myself, we work on physical servers, right? So when we move a database from a physical server to a cloud, let's take, it can be AWS cloud, or it can be Oracle cloud. It can also be Microsoft Azure, or it can also be IBM. Some of you who are wondering if IBM provides a cloud, yes, because all the DBA Genesis servers are hosted on IBM cloud. All right, and also we have Google Cloud and so on. There are many other players right now in the market, but the biggest one is AWS, the second one comes Azure, third comes Oracle, fourth comes IBM. Google Cloud is mostly used by the developers. I'm not going to talk about the Google Cloud, but for now we'll focus on top three, or actually I'll also exclude the IBM because we are using it and you guys need not know much about it, right? So what exactly is cloud? Anytime you move your database to any of these clouds, all right, that becomes cloud. So you are hosting your database into a server which is owned by someone else, right? So either you put your database on AWS, or you put your database on Oracle Cloud, or you put your database on Microsoft Azure, like it works perfectly fine. Now, what are the constraints when you put your database onto the cloud? So this is cloud, amazing diagram by the way, and this is one server in a cloud, and on this server you have your prod database, right? So the biggest question starts like this. So if the client's application, it is on a physical server, this is physical server and this is cloud, how do you make the connection happen? How will this application speak to the production database, right? Now that is something where you as a DBA needs to work and also learn about cloud connectivity. This is your responsibility, it's not the responsibility of the network team. I would like to give you all an example before I talk more about this one. See, as I mentioned, all our DBA Genesis servers are hosted on IBM Cloud. So we have a bare metal server. What exactly is a bare metal server? It's a physical server which is owned by someone else and I am paying monthly rent. It's a physical server, not a virtual server. I would like to repeat for the guys who missed my statement. Bare metal server. So what exactly is a bare metal server? It's a server, physical bare metal server, which is purchased by someone else. It is owned by someone else, but I host my data onto this. So how do you define if a server is bare metal or not? On a bare metal server, you can install your own virtualization software. Like I can install on this bare metal server like VMware, or I can install other virtualization platforms, and I can create multiple VMs like smaller virtual machines, and I can give clients access to these small VMs on the bare metal server. Now you might have a doubt, if this is the bare metal server, what exactly is a virtual server? Most of the servers that are given by AWS, they are virtual servers. So how do you differentiate between virtual server and bare metal server? This is a VM, virtual server. That means this VM already resides on another bare metal server which you do not have access to, right? So this VM is given to you as an access. Ultimately, in a virtual server, the bare metal server is owned by AWS or whatever your cloud vendor is, right? So what is the way, or how do you differentiate? I would like to come back to this point. I missed this point. So on a virtual server, you cannot again install another virtualization platform. I would like to repeat, on a bare metal server, you can install virtualization platform, create multiple VMs, perfect, or you can create multiple virtual machines, right? So these each VMs are actually known as virtual servers because they are not physical servers, right? So you can install virtualization platform or the virtualization software only on a bare metal server. You cannot install VMware on a virtual machine which is already created on a VMware. Sorry guys if I try to make things complex for all of you, but to keep it simple, like our own servers that we own with IBM, they are all bare metal servers so that we can create VMs. Those VMs will act as virtual servers to the outside world. Do you all get the point? All right, I think you all are smart, so you get the point. So what is the job of a DBA in cloud? Your job is, your client is having a physical server, right? So your job is first migrate. How do we migrate? What do we migrate? All those topics are out of this video. Okay, come back. So migrate. So you migrate all these databases to cloud. That's job number one. How do you migrate to cloud? But before that, there is one more job which I missed, but I missed it because like I'm an architect, so I know, but for all the DBAs, you might or might not be involved into these activities. It is known as cloud auditing. So before you migrate to any of the cloud, you as a DBA needs to audit which cloud will suit your requirement. Now, why do I say this? Because all our DBA Genesis servers were earlier on AWS. Then we moved to Oracle. Then we now move to IBM. And I don't know if we have plans to move to some other cloud vendor. I can't say that, but on a normal note, we had challenges with AWS, so we had to move to Oracle. Then we had some challenges with Oracle, so we moved to IBM. And now we don't have any challenges yet, but let's see if we have something in future. So what is the first job of a DBA? The first job that you have is to audit which cloud is good for your clients. Sorry guys, I'm so excited. My energy levels are very high. I mean, my energy levels are actually reaching to cloud, but let's come back. So your job as a DBA first is to audit which cloud is good for your client. Second job, define how will you migrate or which migration method you are going to use to migrate the database, not the application, okay? I'm talking to all of you, all the DBAs. You are responsible to migrate only the database, not the application or the storage or any other thing. All right, that being said, second job of the DBA is migration. The third job of the DBA is, now your DB is in the cloud, so what do? Your application connectivity. How will the application speak to the database that is residing onto the cloud? That is your job. It's not the job of network admin. And I'll tell you this guys, I feel it's so funny when I talk to DBAs who say that, you know what, in our physical environment, the network team was responsible to speak or to fix the issue of the application speaking to the database, but in cloud, I don't have a network admin, so how do I fix it? Nonsense, it's your job. And how to do it? You have to learn it. All right, that being said, what is next? This is more important. Now you own this database because it is in cloud. That being said, it's your responsibility to manage performance tuning of the database in the cloud, right? So you have to make sure that you are doing regular performance tuning of the database in the cloud so that the application is speaking to the database very well. So what are the three important skill sets that you need to know as a DBA? First is auditing the cloud. Which cloud is good or which will be a good fit for your client? By the way guys, don't send me comments like my database is so, how many databases we have, which cloud is good for us. I mean, I can't answer those questions. I need to sit with your client to define their cost and other stuff. Lot of things go in while defining the cost or which cloud is best for your client. I am skipping it for now because that we keep it for some other video. Let's come back. First job of the DBA is to audit the cloud, which cloud is best for your client. Second job of the DBA is to migrate the database. So you define which migration method you are going to use. I would love to, or I welcome all the comments regarding what are the migration methods. I would love to answer those comments, and I think there are exactly 8 or 9 methods that you can migrate the database to the cloud. Coming back, the third most important skill is how will your app speak to the database. I want to say something over here. You might be thinking like, oh, it's very simple Arun, what are you talking, like it's client connectivity or you just need to have the network and listener up and running. It does not work like that. There are more stuff that is involved in the cloud networking because your database is in the cloud, but it will be into a private network of the cloud vendor. So there might be, I'm using this word might. So like we are working with IBM. So in IBM cloud or our servers are actually hosted in a private cloud where it is not open to the public. So we had to configure something that public network speaks to the private network and private network speaks to the database, and that's how the job gets done. You need to learn more on cloud networking. That being said, the last skill set that is required for all the DBAs is continue to check the performance of the database in the cloud. That being said, guys, I think this is the number one skill set, or these are the number one skill set that you as a DBA required. Of course, there are more sub details or sub points that we have in each step to define or perform the migration of the database, which again we'll talk in future videos. But now I will quickly jump onto my notes, like all the questions that have been sent to me by all the DBAs. I guess I have 10 questions which I'm going to answer right now. So this is Cloud Rapid Fire Round with Tony, and we'll try to ask Tony if Tony is able to answer some of the questions. And by the way, Tony, I think I don't need you for now. Okay, so guys, I think the first question we have is, what exactly is cloud computing? Guys, like, cloud computing is nothing new. It's like cloud computing is one. It's one and the same. Some people use or call it as cloud, some people call it as cloud computing. I'm fine with both the terms, and I want you all to be also fine with both the terms. All right, so you can call it as cloud computing, or you can call it as cloud. Okay, let's move on to the second question. Cloud security. So one of the biggest problems or the questions that I get is cloud secure? And I must tell you this, of course. Why do you think cloud is not secure? Did you hear that someone's data was stolen? I heard. Okay, I'm not going to say, but that's okay. Cloud security depends on how well you secure your stuff. Like, if you put it into open cloud, it might be vulnerable to the open world, right? But if you secure your database, if you secure the way your server is, if you secure how the connection happens, like, it's impossible to crack cloud. Next question. What is hybrid cloud? Amazing one. You know what? The hybrid cloud, the beauty about hybrid cloud is, if you are using multiple cloud vendors, let's take you have some of the databases which are hosted on AWS, some of the databases or some of the services you are using from Oracle Cloud, and then you have Microsoft Azure. So your company is using multiple clouds in order to run their operations, then it is known as hybrid cloud. Next, cloud certifications. Most of you who all know me, I'm not a fan of certifications. So if you want to get certified, because I'll tell you this, certification will put weightage in your resume so that your resume is picked up first for the interview. That's good, I'm not against it. But when it comes to sitting in an interview and talking, you need real world experience. And guys, if I am hiring someone, I do not look at certifications. I actually look only for real-time knowledge. All right, let's move on to the next question. Downside of cloud. The biggest downside of the cloud, and it might never happen in real time because cloud vendors are answerable to you, is the control. Actually, your server is owned by someone else. That's the only downside which I feel that cloud has. Let's take, that's the biggest fear that your organization or your client might have, so that they plan not to move to cloud. That's the only downside. Apart from that, yes, there are other downside also, but there are also alternatives or repairs for those downsides. So let's not always get into downsides. Now, if you talk to me, I can give you hundreds of downsides of using a physical server, right? Let's move on to the next question. Public versus private cloud. Public cloud means your server is accessible from anywhere. Like, you have a dedicated IP, you type in the IP, you are connected to the server. That comes under public cloud. Private cloud is, your cloud is on a private network for which you need to have a VPN access. So first you make your system part of that private cloud by initiating a VPN connection. And once you are part of the private cloud, that's when you are able to access all the servers in the private cloud, right? So that's the difference between public and private cloud. Next, Which cloud is best? I'll tell you what. There is no best cloud. It depends on your requirement. Like for DBA Genesis, we tried 2 or 3 clouds, but we settled onto IBM Cloud because we like it. And the other clouds, I'm not saying they are worst or they're bad, but it did not work for our work or our services or our needs, right? Let's quickly move on to the next question. Oracle Cloud versus AWS Cloud. I'll tell you this. If you are going for AWS Cloud was created for a generic purpose which it is solving. That's amazing. Oracle Cloud, by the way, is created by Oracle. It is created for the DBAs or for the databases. So it's a cloud which is little bit inclined towards the database world, right? So that's why in case if you are using databases and you are a DBA who's planning to migrate databases to cloud, I think your first choice should be Oracle Cloud. But I should not say this. Sometimes what happens, Oracle Cloud is costlier when compared to AWS Cloud. I mean, I didn't say it, but let's move on to the next question. Services provided by cloud. There are a lot of services provided by cloud, but depends what do you want to have. I will give you one example. See, keep it simple. You have a physical environment. So what are the services you need in a physical environment? You need a server, right? So server will have a storage, correct? So server, storage, you need to have network, and then you need to have application, you need to have databases, and so on. So whatever you need in a physical environment, you get all those things in the cloud environment. Nothing to worry. That being said, cloud also offers other services which is out of syllabus for now. Let's move on to the last question of the day. Where to learn cloud? Are you guys serious? You have to learn it on DBA Genesis. By the way, guys, I'm actually planning for cloud courses as I mentioned earlier, and those courses will be live very soon. That being said, I would still want all of you to comment below this video and let me know your further questions onto cloud, because I would want to make this video as more interactive. I would like to answer all of your cloud questions in the comments, because I actually love cloud, including database. One more important thing before I forget. I see that there are lot of cloud trainers these days, but the biggest problem is you need to know from whom you're learning cloud, right? Because see guys, as I mentioned, this is very important. This is real stuff and real deal. I mentioned that you have a server, you have storage, you have network, you have database, application, right? On a physical network or a physical environment. Perfect. Now, when all this stuff is moved to cloud, the big deal is from whom you are learning cloud. Server, you have system admin. System admin learned cloud. He became a cloud trainer. So he will give you perspective of the cloud from the system admin side, right? He cannot give you the perspective from the DBA side, right? So as a DBA, you need to know from whom you are learning. Let's take you have a network admin. So there is a network admin guy who migrated their skills to cloud, and that network admin is becoming or had become or has become a cloud trainer. The network admin will give you the perspective of the cloud from the network side, not from the DBA side. That being said, you know what? My conclusion is, if you are a network admin, if you want to learn cloud, try to learn from a trainer who was a network admin and who migrated to cloud. All right. The same way, if you are a system admin who wants to learn cloud, try to learn from a trainer who was a system admin who migrated their skill set to cloud. That being said, all the DBAs, if you plan to go out for cloud trainings, try to look for the DBA who migrated their skill set to cloud, and then they are providing you cloud trainings. Because I still get so many emails that lot of students have been conned, or lot of students have taken cloud trainings from different cloud trainers, But now they come to me and ask me this question, Arun, you know what, we have taken training from so and so person, but we do not know what to do in the cloud. My answer is go and ask your trainer. That being said, guys, as mentioned earlier, I am in plans to launch cloud trainings. Of course, we will launch it soon. But before that, I wanted to clear this confusion as to what exactly is cloud. That being said, for all of you, please continue to send me your questions or queries, doubts to support@dbagenesis.com. For all the cloud related queries, put the comments below this video. And guys, go to dbagenesis.com. On the top right corner, we have launched a new tab called as Cloud. Click on the cloud. I have a quick survey. We want to customize the cloud trainings based on your environment, your requirements, and whatever your client's needs are. So fill up that survey form so that we get to know as to how we create the cloud courses for all of you. And guys, this was an amazing show. Golden Jubilee would be on our 50th episode. Silver Jubilee, we all are celebrating in the DBA Genesis headquarters here in Hyderabad, and I would love to take this show to the Golden Jubilee, Diamond Jubilee, and Alright guys, I think I will see you all in the next episode. For now, bye!